I just simply believe that as a man, men, we need to make a very a varied analysis on marriage. We can't just get caught up in the fairy tale. Look, it's easy to say, yes, I want to get married. Or it's easy to say, just as easy to say, no, I don't want to get married. But marriage is a very nuanced thing. You need to talk to married people. You need to talk to divorced people. Take everything into conclusion in its totality and then factor in whether you believe in it. That's like reading the first chapter of the Bible and saying, oh, yeah, I believe. No, you might need to read the whole thing. You may need to read a lot of it. You may need to see the bad part of it. You need to see the good parts of it, and then root your belief in the facts of what you just read, not just the fairy tale of what you just read. It's easy to say, I want to get married. You see it all the time. Socially, they're going to push you to want to get married. I can't honestly sit here and say that I just don't want to get married. I would love to meet a awesome woman, but I take marriage in its totality and I take it damn serious. I believe that once you sit in there and tell God that I'm going to be with this woman forever, hell, it should be the only thing that takes you away from her. That's just my opinion.
So when I give this honest, I'm on the stand, I get this expert honesty under oath, it's like it's not accepted. And that's what bothered me, Judge Mario.
I think
Let me ask you a question, Horace.
On this show for 3 years, I said if I was a better man, then I might not have. I might have made the decisions different. I might have made different decisions. But the fact that I dated with the purpose of marriage, like right now, I could date. Hey, I could slang this meat all over the city. But right now, I've established that I want something purpose filled, and I don't think you guys can understand.
But see, I agree.
Can you slay that meat across the city? Really?
I agree with Chris wholeheartedly, but I think that those principles apply to everything in life. They only get enforced with marriage when people don't want it. I think those same principles you can say about a job, you can say about buying a house, you can say about buying. I'm saying those are great principles to live by life. I think you should think through everything you do before you make a big decision. I think you should vet everything you do before you make a big decision. I think you should look at the good and bad in everything you do. That's what I'm saying. Like those are principles in life that you should just live by. Period. Like I don't buy nothing unless I sleep on it for a day. I make sure I'm saying everything you're saying is 1,000% true. I just think it only come up to that in-depth conversation to people, and I think to people who don't want to get married. And I think people who do want to get married, sometimes I agree, overlook it. They don't look at none of that. They just get caught up and say, fuck all that. I just want to be married. And then they just go jump and get married. And I think that's negligent too. Because I think that marriage is more than you just saying, y'all make me feel good together. And then you just think you're going to live off happily. So I think it's negligence on both sides. I agree wholeheartedly. You should vet, you should prepare, and you should process this whole thing, because marriage ain't something you can just go. If you look at marriage as more than an agreement with the courts that you can just go down there and say, I'm done with, then I think you'll have a longer lasting marriage, and you'll be slower to marriage and longer to divorce. So that's what I think. But I think that most people look at it as an agreement. That's why that's where we draw the difference. I think if you look at it as you, the state, and him, then it's easy for you just to break that up. But if you look at it as you, her, and God, then who says you can break it up? That's when the forever comes in, because there's no forever with the government. That's easily broke up. That's a contract. All you gotta do is 9 and 40. So if you go into marriage saying, "Oh, this is between me, my wife, and the state," oh shit, you can break that up anytime. That's why I think a lot of marriages get broke up, because you always know, shit, it's me. It's nothing but a contract. But if you go to a look and saying, "I'm signing this contract with somebody who sits high and looks low," that's what I'm doing. So whether you can see them or not, whether you believe it or not, whether you care about it or not, that's what my contract is with. Then it's a little bit harder to just walk away when you get discouraged. Just a little bit harder to say fuck that shit when you don't want to. It's a little bit harder to say that look better, so I'm gonna go try that. Boosie said something, I'm gonna let this go the other day. He said social media allowed us to think that we can have so much stuff out here that we never gonna be able to have.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that is so true, because right now Chris standing in Orlando is on a show, and Zay in Palm Beach, Tuda in Palm Beach, and I'm in Atlanta. We on a show with people from all around the world right now, when they shouldn't even be able to be in this conversation we having right now, because you can't put this many people on the telephone. And that's what it does. So now you get all these other people who you feel like I'm letting go, or it's this perfect person out there, or it's this perfect situation out there, or it got to be an equal playing field when it never has been in life for men. I don't think my job is equal. I don't think taking care of my kids is equal. And I don't never think marriage is. I don't understand why, like, it's like everything else in this world I'm gonna sacrifice, but when it comes to marriage, no, I want reciprocity, I want equalness, that's when I be going like, am I in the twilight zone? So how do everything else in this world, a man is the head, he takes the most of the consequences, he takes the most, but when it comes to marriage, you shouldn't sign up for that. But you sign up for everything in this world. Every single thing.
What I'm saying is that's a part of it. Take that into your decision making. That's all I'm saying. Take that into your decision making. This is not an indictment on marriage. Right. This is just me saying take all of that and then make a decision.
I begin by saying I agree wholeheartedly with that, because I think on both ends, not people who want to get married and people who don't want to get married, they don't do that. I believe some people just get caught up in the and they go get married and they fuck up and not know what they're getting into. Then they jump out of it. And I believe some people get married and say, you know what? I ain't want to do this shit in the first place. And then I'm out of this business because this bitch over here look better, or this look better, or I'm tired of sacrificing. I'm tired of, I could be doing most. You know, I got a lot of friends too that do both. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. And I'm new to this too. So, but you know, I'm just telling you from a person who.
Yeah, you're almost out your rookie contract. Hold on now. You're almost out your rookie contract. You're in your third year. You got to sign. You try to get the max deal next year. So no, you're not a rookie no more.
No, but I'm saying,
but now you're not.
As far as this, I don't think nothing changed by me being married with me and Jaleesa relationship, except for my intent to do right got stronger. That's the only thing. That's the only thing changed. Like, I don't
add that into the equation, fellas. Add that what you have to do differently.
Right. I don't think that nothing changed except for like prematurely. Everything I do now is to make sure that I set myself up to win. That don't mean I'm gonna win. It just makes sure I set myself up to win, right? So even going on this trip, I told Zay and Horace, I'm staying with y'all. Like, I don't need my own room. I don't need to be in, like, it's a lot of shit. Like, people might be like, oh, if you're married, you should just be able to tell any woman no. And you should be able, because they probably never got women. So what I did is say, let me set myself up to be in the best situation so I know that I can try my best to, you know, push the chair and field. Go ahead.
Can you put Katina post up the last one she put?
Hey, if Chris Leo or Zay International get married before 2024, I'm paying for the wedding.
With all those standards, ladies. Well, let me stop talking to ladies. I don't give a shit. But this is when you don't need to have all those standards and red flags. You need to meet a person, enjoy their company, and see if things evolve. If she would have been one of them that said, "Oh, if a man don't tell me he want to get married, I'm done," this would have never happened.
Hey, you know what's crazy? That's the same conversation I had with Tootie. When I said I had that, and I had that same conversation before Cortina said that at a table with a bunch of other women. Like, you can't intentionally know what somebody is, and if you believe in God, like you say, because most people say they do, then you have to understand He has the last say. So what I say out my mouth, because I don't plan on doing something. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And then I feel like so many people always try to judge within a couple hours or a couple months what somebody done went through off their thing. Sometimes you got to let people see us another way.
That's my whole point, dog. You can't get wrapped up. You have to understand that a man would be hesitant for saying, I want to get married. There's a hesitation. So when he's not clear on it, when he's not right out, or he don't give it right to you, don't charge this man, or don't look down on the man. He should be confused a little bit. You don't have the same risk factor that man does. So his uncertainty isn't a slight against you. You need to experience this man and see it, and then make him want to do this.
And say this. I say, sometimes you got to understand why. Like, some people just get turned off right when somebody say something, right? Like right now, you say, don't you say, I ain't getting married again, right? So when Cortina hear why, your mercy, your empathy come in. Oh, I understand why you say that, but I know who I am, and I know that this I'm nothing. Listen, I'm whether you marry me or not, I know who I am. So the stuff that you apprehensive about, the stuff that you scared about, the stuff that you was incomplete about, and all that kind of stuff, I don't give off that. So I might not be who you want, but I know that stuff right there is not going to affect us from moving forward because I'm not that person. Well, most people hear that and say, I'm not. He not intentional. He don't want to be married. I'm out of here.
We're not on the same page.
David didn't want to be the king. David didn't want to be a king when he was a shepherd's boy. Saul didn't want to be Paul. Jesus didn't want to go to the cross. He asked God to take the mantle for him. So a lot of people in life don't want to be who they destined to be. But who are you to stop the journey before they reach their maximum person? Now, that's a thin line because there's a lot of people who bullshit and who play that to the left. But I'm just saying, I agree with Chris, Horace, and everybody else Cortina who's saying that, because that intention, that word of just people trying to pinpoint you to how you're feeling in that moment right there and then hold you in that circle right there, that's very dangerous for women, because men hide their feelings and express their feelings in many different ways. And if you put them in a position and say, because he said this, instead of digging to see why. Now, if he say, I ain't gonna be married because I love hoes and I'm out here fucking, then okay, that's a different story. But he might be like, I ain't gonna get married because Chris said this at our wedding. I never seen a successful marriage, except for like 2 people, right? So I'm apprehensive about being married. So I'm gonna be watching you and Jaleesa. If he say that without the context and he just say, I don't really know about marriage. Oh, I ain't fucking with Chris. Chris don't really know about marriage. The man is being honest.
I get shitted on for it. I get told I'm tap dancing and stuff like that. No, that's not the case. I take it because 100% seriously.
They always tell you God have a way of pushing people out your way that don't design to be there, and then sometimes it's not you, it's them. Like they might not be ready for you. See, when you really know you're a blessing, bro, and people don't take you up on that offer, that's they lost. Totally, right? That's totally they lost.
I can't make you want better.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
So once again, Horace, what was your question originally? Do you do what?
What the hell are you talking about?
I just want to make sure.
Do you believe in marriage, or are you full of
asshole? What did you? That was what I was talking about. Thank you. You can read. God damn. I forgot you was on the show. I'm saying this. Y'all gave a whole bunch of points about everything other than answering the question, which is amazing to me. Everything that y'all said is true in fact, but he only asked you one simple question. Well, Horace only asked one simple question. Christian,
not a simple question to me.
It should have been a 2-part question. It should have been a 2-part question, but he asked a very simple question. And I still don't think you've rightly answered it. Horace answered it somewhat, and then they said that I somewhat answered it. But I told y'all exactly how I felt. I do believe in it. I do see myself. What? I do see myself now. That the part B, like you said, am I working toward all that? I don't think so. But I definitely,
that's what I want to hear. That's what
you should have said 2-part question. You tried to try and convict on one thing, but you should have really made a 2-part question of that. But all y'all did was kind of talk around it. I know it because I'm famous for doing it. So when I heard y'all do it, I'm like, wait a minute, that's not a damn answer.
That's the guy. Listen, that is a testimony. I respect you,
but it's the truth.
Sammy Davis.
Okay, so I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know. Because I never not one time told y'all that I don't ever believe, and I think I've said that several times. I see myself being that. I never ever told you anything.
I need a sombrero. Does somebody got a sombrero I can use?
Now, see, this is the part I think. Now, this what me and Horace had to disconnect it. And I think this is why he asked that question. Because I said this. If you believe in something in its totality, now, because what Chris said is profound, I think he just didn't expound on it. When he said, I believe in this part of marriage, right? And I think people do that. So if you believe in what marriage was intended to be, right? A union of blessings, understanding, sacrifice, and growth. Then if you believe that, then you will be going out there every day. If I told you I believe, if you believe you could be a millionaire by cutting out, like if you honestly believe that, you would do it every day because you know it's gonna come.
Right.
That was my point with him. You can say you believe something, but if you go to work every day, I'm gonna say, Chris, you go to work every day because you believe you're gonna get paid every 2 weeks. So you have no problem. He don't have to pay you right now. He don't have to tell you every day he's going to pay you next Friday. He don't have to write it on the wall, because every day you're going to go to work. You're going to do your best, because in your heart, you truly believe you're going to get paid next Friday. So no